Hello and welcome to Crochet Moments. I've lost track of the episode numbers. It would have been 24. I'm told it's number 24. And Emily wanted to pop on and say hello before she goes to bed because it's nearly bedtime, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can tell she's tired because she's very silly.
Yes, she is. So now you've said hello to everybody, it's time to go to bed.
No.
Okay.
No.
So,
Let me go.
I'm getting the sticking the tongue out treatment now. So yes, this is Crochet Moments. I'm Helen. That was Emily. And this is Katherine. This is my channel where I like to talk about all things yarn, knitting, crochet and just general hoarding of yarn. Catherine, as you can see, won't have done any knitting. We've not got another knitty moments, although we might try in the week, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so why don't you tell everyone? I'll budge over a bit, you tell everybody.
Clearly you didn't even like because I have a fractured bone. I mean, honestly, we tell you every time to leave a like. Leave a like. And that way, if we get a letter from the NHS in about 3 weeks' time, this means I'm going to be able to have this sling on. It's very nice and blingy. For at least more than 4 weeks.
Yes, so last week we got a letter. The radiologist had reviewed Catherine's x-ray from the week previously and they'd missed a fracture while she was in the accident and emergency department. It's not a very big fracture, it is a very small fracture.
Yeah,
and
about there.
And it's called, can you remember what kind of fracture it was called?
A green stick fracture.
That's right, a green stick fracture, and it is tiny, very, very, very small.
It might be very small, but the treatment still has to be provided.
That's right, we still have to have it strapped up in a sling for most of the day, don't we? Mm-hmm. And she didn't like the way it looked, so Mummy blinged it up a little bit.
Yep, we bought some crochet pins and purple flowers, and even these heart buttons.
So last Saturday evening when I got home from my knitting lessons, I didn't get to do any knitting or crochet. I had to do some stitching to sew all of that on. But yes, so she's fine, it doesn't hurt, which is the important thing. You're just a bit frustrated because it means you haven't been able to do sports day and football at school, have you?
Well, I did take some part in sports day today.
Okay, that's good.
I did a little bit of running about, but that's just for a bit of exercise.
That's okay. You can do little bits. You just have to be careful that you don't fall over and hurt yourself, don't you? Right, so you're going to go sit down there and play on your Sims while I move over into the prime spot. So you'll probably just catch sight of her just down there. She's on my laptop playing Sims, which if you're not familiar with computer games and things, The Sims is a simulation game where you basically have a person and get them to live their life, and sometimes you can make them do silly things, sometimes you can make them do sensible things, and sometimes you just make them look silly, don't you, Catherine?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so my last 2 weeks. So in my last episode, if you saw that, I hadn't been really feeling in the mood for much crafting. A lot of stress at work, the heat, a lot of things combining to me not really feeling up to it. But the last couple of weeks I've got a bit more progress done on stuff. I did have a day off work on Wednesday and I went to Hobbycraft, which has just opened up in Leicester, and I was very, very excited. Disappointed that I couldn't go for the grand opening, which is tomorrow. The first 100 visitors get a goodie bag. But I can't be there for that because I have to work. So I went for their very first day open instead. And my previous video, which I released on Wednesday evening, shows you all the things, lovely things that I bought. I did end up, that headache I talked about in that episode turned into a migraine. So I didn't get a chance to edit it with pictures of the patterns that I was going to do with the yarn that I'd bought. So I will...
Tell them how much you spent on just yarn.
No, because Daddy watches.
Oh. Then don't.
Yes. The exact spend is being kept secret. But it was a bit more than I planned to spend. Let's put it that way. So I will obviously show you as I start things. So I'm working furiously to get some things finished so I can get some things started. And talking about finished, I have a finished object. And I have a half finished object. So first, my finished object is in the bag that I keep my amigurumi stuff in. So in here there is always some stuffing. There is always my bag of eyes and noses, not my box of eyes and noses that I got from Amazon. I think they cost me about £5. I'm already getting low on some of the smaller sized eyes, so I might have to buy something that's just that size eye. And I have my Zumigurumi book.
Zumigurumi.
So my Zumigurumi, I am working on, I can't remember which number pattern it is in the book. Ooh. So I'm on the mice, which is one. It's the 5th pattern in the book. And let's try and do this without showing any of the pattern. I don't know. There you go. It's the naughty little mice. And I'm not done too bad. So I finished the large mouse. So the next time I spin it on my decision wheel, so regular viewers will know I decide which whip to work on each day by using a decision wheel on my phone. It's just a free app. I've just popped all my whips in there. I had a bit of a disaster. My phone did an update. The app's updated and my original whip wheel disappeared. So I had to recreate it. And I nearly forgot to put some stuff on. But next time it spins, I will probably get the whole set with the little mice and the cake that goes with the set as well done. But here, is it a he or she, Katherine?
I don't know.
You don't know. She hasn't decided. This one's for Katherine. So there it is. So I'm actually quite happy with how that one's worked out. Just cover my face so you can see the mouse properly. Ooh, focus. Oh, he's falling over now. But yes, so it's so adorable. I didn't sew it together in the way that the instructions said. So that it did tell you to sew it together so that the limbs would be almost jointed. And I wasn't confident with that. So I just went along with this. And I have learned not to crochet with a migraine because he's got one leg fatter than the other. And a slightly wonky foot as well. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. Must have lost count somewhere. Oh, and he's got a little tail as well. So he's really cute. I'm really loving the progress that I'm making with amigurumi. And it's a good job I'm making progress because one of the ladies that comes to my knitting and crochet classes on a Saturday afternoon has initially started wanting help with learning amigurumi because she does knitted toys, and as far as crochet is concerned, she's only ever done granny squares. So I have taught her how to make a lovey. I helped her pick a pattern out, and I really might get the pattern for myself because it's a really lovely lovey set with a baby blanket, and I really think I want to have a go at making one. I don't have any babies due in the family, but I would like to investigate the possibilities of maybe selling some things that I make, maybe get a bit extra money to spend on yarn. All the times that I spend on yarn, I've just noticed my hair's a mess. I probably should have brushed it properly before I came on. So my half finished object is actually the project that I am working on today, which is the Get Connected cushion. Let's bring it over here. So this is a make along that was on the Sheepies Facebook page. It's not an active make along now, that it's completed, and they've moved on to something else which I wasn't too interested in starting, so I think I'll just see what the make along is for and then decide if I want to make it. Anyway, I finished. This is the front, so here it is, and I am loving how it looks. I am going to need to get a large cushion pad to go inside here, but I really enjoyed doing this. I don't know if it's the colours, the pattern. It's worked diagonally, so you sort of start at, I think that was the starting point, and then you work out and then you start decreasing up to the top point, and it's just really, really nice. I just love the way that this pattern interconnects all the way through, and it was fun to do. Not so much fun that I wanted to do the back in the same way, and I went through several different options for the back before I finally settled on doing some spike stitch. It's not exciting. It is a bit of a boring one, but it's working up quickly. So I'm just gonna keep going for that really, and hopefully within, I don't know, a couple of, I mean, this is how far I am so far. Oh, that's the back. That's the back. That's the front. Yeah, so it's not brilliant, but it will do. I just wanted to find something that would work up fairly quickly, and I thought anything that took too much thinking and counting would slow me down. So I just thought, well, okay, simple spike stitch. So I'm just doing double crochets, or single crochet, depending on the terminology you use, and changing colour every 5 rows, and I'm just doing a spike stitch every 5th stitch across on the first row after changing colour, and it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So given how long it takes me to do a row, I'm probably going to get to the halfway point on this by bedtime tonight, depending on whether or not I decide to have a drink. I have already had a drink today. After work, our manager treated us to some drinks because, well, I just had the one. Because we have had a brilliant week at work, so she wanted to treat us. So that's that whip. That whip's actually come up quite a lot. I think I've worked on that about 4 or 5 times in the last 2 weeks. So that's why I think I've got so much progress on that compared to some of the other things. I mean, there are others that I haven't made any progress on at all. So yes, now what should I talk about next? Blankets. So I have 2 blankets on the go at the moment. I have got my Boho blanket, which I started as part of my blanket along, and I've also got my Enigma blanket, which is a crochet along that is being hosted by the Crochet Now magazine. It is a blanket designed by Esther of It's All in a Nutshell. She's got a YouTube channel with some fantastic tutorials. So this is the blanket. So It's All in a Nutshell is also a blog. There are no video tutorials for this as it stands. I don't know if once it's finished its run in the magazine, if she will release it as a separate pattern by itself with videos. I'm not sure. But yes, so I'm doing the similar colours, but I've picked them out off my stash. So I think I only ended needing to buy yellow, as I never have yellow in my stash. It's not a colour I use very often. So this is part 3. So part 3 we added the petals, and then we filled them in and added these popcorns and then these sorts of things, and I've sewn in all the ends. Where I have been able to, I've crocheted them actually into the stitches rather than just crocheting over them, and those that I couldn't, I've sewn in. So I'm all up to date with my ends, which is always good. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm so far not learning anything new, because I think the joy of these crochet alongs is if you are fairly new, you can still do it. But if you're advanced, you can do it. You just don't need to think too much about it. I'm just hoping I don't see too many popcorns going forward. I'm not a popcorn fan at all.
You mean you don't like popcorn?
I like eating popcorn. I don't like doing
that
popcorn stitches. So yes, I'm really enjoying this, and I'm really liking how the colours are working together. I wasn't so sure when I laid them all out, because they are obviously, because they're not the Sheepy's Colour Crafter yarn. It's a mixture, so some of it is the Aldi yarn. This yellow is I think it's a Patterns yarn. Might be a Patterns yarn. So this one's a Deramores yarn. So yeah, it's a bit of a mishmash of brands of yarn. It's all acrylic because, well, let's face it, I have 2 girls who like to drag blankets out into the garden and use as picnic blankets and such like. So I think acrylic is easy to keep clean with washing. No special instructions needed, but I'm really enjoying that. And then moving on to my blanket along, which I didn't mention last full episode, which, well, I was so stressed. I probably should have just left it a day or 2 to film, but I really wanted to get the episode out at its usual day and time. Anyway, the boho blanket, my pattern's starting to look a bit battered now. I haven't had much progress on this. It's only come up once in the last 2 weeks, but I have spent some time on it. I do need to work some of these ends in. I really need to work the ends in, but I haven't. So that was almost not worth starting. I've just the first little group of stitches there, but here, let's get it the right way around. Here it is. So I've got this lovely colour work, granny stripes into the granny flowers here, which I did join as you go for the very first time. I hadn't done that before. And then we've got these stripes here, which was a nice break from all of the colour work and the carrying of the colours and untangling yarn. And then a bit more colour work on here, and then some stripes, and then we'll be just repeating from here to here for the rest of the blanket. So once I finish the last couple of stripes on here, so I've got 2 stripes left to do, and then I'll be on these again, and then I'll be working backwards along the colour chart. So I might just turn the chart upside down when I read that, so I don't get myself too mixed up. But I'm really loving working on this. I'm not, and I've said it a million times, I'm not a fan of the granny stitch, but this has been, there's been enough in it to keep me interested. I hadn't done colour work using the granny stitch before, and it's really very effective. So I'm quite looking forward to that. So I just wanted to just pop and get the prizes for the blanket along to show you, remind you of what you can win. So if you're not already taking part in the blanket along, there is still time. The blanket along runs to the end of August, and on the last day of August I will be drawing two winners. So I've got 2 prizes, and they will so to enter, all you need to do is share a progress picture or a finished picture of a blanket that you're working on. You don't have to be working on the boho, you don't have to be working on this. You could be working on any blanket you like. There are some really lovely blankets out there. So definitely, if you want to look at the hashtag, it is Crochet Moments BAL. So that's Crochet Moments BAL. And one of my followers, Soffity, is doing the most amazing blanket. So definitely head over there, have a look, maybe get some inspiration. Obviously I can't enter, but I have been showing a few progress pictures of my blankets as I've been going along, just to try and chew things along a little bit. Yes, last day of August will come along, and I will draw 2 winners at random from the Instagram post. If you want to enter and don't have Instagram and don't want Instagram, then by all means email me pictures of your blankets and I will include you in that draw. My contact details are below, so by all means have a go. Join in. Who knows, you could win something. I love giveaways. I enter so many and I haven't won anything yet. But I love the make along ones because it's better than just a comment and getting a prize. You're actually contributing something to your craft. It's great if you're learning something new. Let me know. Are you going to use the blanket along as a way of learning new stitches, challenging yourself with something a little bit more intricate than maybe you've done before? I am a fan of intricate blankets, so as you see, I've got my Rosetta cowl from 2019, Sheepy's cowl. This is the Crochet Now 2019 cowl, and this is my 2020 cowl from Sheepy's. So I'm a fan of the complicated blanket, but not everybody is. Some people like the nice simple granny square. I'm happy to see those too. So get sharing. And if you want me to be able to include your picture, make sure that either you follow me on Instagram, so then I can see your posts, or make those posts public. If you can make them public so that other followers of the BAL can see progress, that would be great too, but no pressure. Some people I know don't like to share everything, and I fully appreciate that. So, prizes. So prize number 1 will be Crocheted Home and a King Cole Carousel Chunky Cake. I got these are actually from the Works, which is somewhere that I don't know how many of my viewers are outside of the UK, but the Works is a discount bookshop, and they have some fantastic prices on some of their craft books. So I think these only cost about between £3 and £5 each, and some of the ones I have on my bookshelf from there were £5 or less as well. They are really good. There are some of the more expensive ones as well. They did used to have the Harry Potter knitting book. I don't know if they still do, but I'll be looking out for the crochet one that's due to come out. I think it's later this year. I'm not sure if I want that one yet, because it looks like it's mostly amigurumi, but I'll reserve judgment until I've seen. But anyway, that's prize number 1. Pop that down there. And prize number 2 is a book of crocheted throws and wraps, and this colour in the Carousel Chunky. So these are 200 gram cakes. There's 316 meters, so not enough for a blanket, but certainly you might get a hat or a cowl or something out of it. So blankets can be knit or crochet, they don't have to just be crochet. And yes, so join in, please. It's great seeing all the progress that's being shared. So what else have I got? What else have I been working on? Oh yes, so I shall show you my Starbright jumper now, and then I'll show you the project that is no more. I thought there was someone trying to come in through the door then. Now this, I'm getting so close to finishing this, and I'm looking forward to seeing the end of it. This is the Starbright blanket. It's because I've just been talking about blankets. It's the Starbright sweater, and this is designed by Fran Morgan. So there it is. I substituted the yarn because the yarn called for is the Rico Design Luxury Super 100 DK and the Rico Design Creative Lame 4 ply. I'm just using Aldi DK. So I'm using a DK acrylic yarn. So actually, is that? No, this is some leftover colour crafter actually. So that's all I've got left of the mustard. So I've got one sleeve left to do. So I'm hoping, beyond all hope, there's enough there to do the stripes for the cuff. But so this is the grey that I'm using. So it's just the Aldi double knit yarn in grey. It's a 100% acrylic yarn. It's 100 grams and there's about 300 meters in a ball. And I really love how this jumper looks. I might not be enjoying doing it at the moment because I'm just doing endless rows. I've got so many ends to sew in as well on this before anyone can wear it. So I'm doing this in the extra small size for Katherine. So here is how it looks at the moment. So I've got a sleeve, a full finished sleeve, and I've popped some stitch markers in there so I know how many rows to do in the next sleeve, and then I'll have all those ends to sew in and it will be finished. So I can't wait for that. I'm really loving how the colours are working together. This mustard colour just looks really good, and I'm loving the striped ribbing. And yes, I actually, ribbing wise, I prefer the crocheted rib to the knit rib, because the crocheted rib doesn't take as long to do. But yes, so there's the sleeve. It's nice long. Yes, I don't know if I remember saying last time I showed this, but I have altered the pattern a little bit. So this is supposed to be one row of half trebles or half double crochets, depending on your terminology, and one row of single crochets, double crochets. That was taking too long to work up when I was on the body. It did have a really nice effect, so it's sort of there. You can see where I've changed to just the half trebles, but it wasn't growing very quickly, because this is, even though it's a DK weight yarn, I've been using a 3.5mm hook, and it's just been taking forever. Now, one thing I have noticed on the sleeve is my join. I need to work on making my join straight so that it runs under the arm rather than along the back of the arm. But Katherine's looking forward to being able to wear this because it's very lovely. Let's pop that away. Then we shall get the project that is in the naughty corner. Well, it's not just in the naughty corner, it's in the frogged corner. I frogged it. So, you will remember that I was having a whale of a time, which is the right issue 129. You will remember that I had a bit of a hard time with this project because it's I'd like to say it's quite a complicated lace pattern, but it's not really that complicated lace pattern. But for someone that isn't terribly experienced in lace, it took me 5 starts to get beyond row 10 of the pattern. And then I discovered that they'd put an image over half of the repeat. Like, thank you. So an email to Knit Now, and I received a response with the remaining rows that were missing. I was like, oh, thank you. But I found it really hard to work on that. So I wrote them down into a notebook, row by row, and I got as far as row 20. I was almost ready to start repeating, and I went wrong. So I frogged it, and I decided I wasn't going to start that again because it's obviously a cursed project. So I thought, okay, let's have a look through and find a pattern that takes one skein of fingering weight yarn, because this is the yarn I'm using. This is my Dinah's Home of Crafts Nameless, it's called. I really love those colours, the sort of dark and murky colours. They're just really nice. There's purples and greens and pinks and cream and brown. It's almost like she got all of the leftover dyes from doing something and swooshed it together and chucked some yarn in. But I really like the effect. It's really, really pretty. So I had a look through. So this issue has got the socks in it. That is going to be done out of the subscription yarn, which is going to be with me early August, according to the email I received yesterday. So I thought, okay, I quite liked this scarf. I quite like that.
It's nice.
It's very pretty, isn't it?
It is.
I didn't get very far on that and I went wrong. So I frogged it. So at the moment, that is definitely in the naughty corner. I'm holding on to the yarn. I'm going to keep it in this bag, and I will keep a lookout in my future issues. The next Knit Now magazine is due next week, so I will look out for a single skein project that I can use this for. Maybe I think the next knit along pattern is socks, because it's going socks, scarf or shawl, socks, scarf or shawl, for 4 seasons. So we've had summer, the summer socks and the summer scarf. The socks, because of the way it is, the way the pattern is written, it's written almost for the particular yarn. So I will be doing that definitely when I get my subscription pack. The plan with my knit alongs and crochet alongs is I'm going to work on them every other day and then spin in between so my other whips don't get left behind. So at the moment I'm just spinning every day because I haven't got a knit along project to work on, and I'm all up to date with my crochet along project. So that is the project that never was. It's in the frogged corner. Not a lot more I can say about that really. I did put a couple of rows in on my summer court tank, but not enough to make it worthwhile showing you. It will just look exactly the same as the last time you saw it. So that brings me to incoming. So let's talk incoming. I've had my subscriptions, my yarn subscriptions. I've had my 2 monthly full skein subscription that comes from Luxury Yarns, and it's a doozy. I really love this colour, and so will you when you see it. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty, and I'm not sure how much of the different tones in there that this is picking up, but it's so this is the dyer, Orchidine Luxury Yarns. Her website is just Luxury Yarns. It's on her platinum sock base, which is 75 superwash merino, 25 nylon. It is what is that, 6 times 20 grams, 85 meters. Okay, I'm not quite sure if maybe she's forgot to change this. So it's usually a 100 gram skein. Well, 6 times 20 isn't 100, is it? I don't think that's a 120 gram skein. It definitely has the look and feel of a 100 gram skein. So I'm going to assume that that's it. So I couldn't tell you what the meters are because I'm not sure that's right on there. But anyway, it's beautiful, beautiful yarn. And I haven't got a clue what to use it on yet. But I keep looking out for single skein projects, or to see if I have any yarns that will go together to maybe have a 2 skein or 3 skein project go together. So that came with a pucker tea, the cleanse, and this one is fennel, nettle and peppermint. So I'm not sure whether or not I like that one. I'm not a big fan of mint tea, if I'm honest.
Your favourite's lemon and ginger, isn't it?
Yeah, lemon and ginger is my favourite. And oh, actually, do I want to show you my tea incoming? I might get that in a minute when I finish with the yarn incoming.
Yeah.
So, and I also got this really lovely stitch marker. So every
So
pack
pretty.
it is pretty, isn't it? Every
And it's got a signing on the back.
yeah. So she said thank you. It's from Abby. Abby's the lady that does the dyeing, and she actually is doing studio visits now as well. If she wasn't so far away from me, I probably would. I'd probably visit and spend a small fortune on her yarn because she's got beautiful yarns. So yes, so I've got just a plain brown light bulb stitch marker there as well as the really fancy one with the bead. It's just so beautiful. I really, really like that. Anyway, then we move on to my mini skein subscription, which was a little bit late. Dinah, the lady, I can't know if it's Dinah
Yes,
or
a bit
Dina.
late, but at least you got it.
Yes, she apologises in her little newsletter thing to say she's had a few family emergencies to have to deal with, and she's had a little bit of unexpected travel that she's had to do because her mum took ill. So her theme is trying to capture a bit of the travel that she's had. Scorching heat we were met with in Latvia, and the quiet long evenings on the beach, the glorious wildlife trotting around after dark, and the most important summer solstice celebration. So I get the 3 mini skein subscription, and I like a lot. These are very dark colours, but I don't mind. I like bright colours, but I also like a nice dark colour too. This one's my favourite, and I almost feel like emailing her and asking what the possibility is of getting that in a full skein, because I love that so much. I could easily wear a cardigan or a sweater made out of that. And then there's these two, which at first glance look identical, but there are some very subtle differences. So this one is lighter, and it has more of the blues and the reds in it. And this one is darker and has much, the colours are richer. There's a bit of black in there. The reds are darker. There's more greens in this one than blues.
I think that's the animal one.
I'm not quite sure, but I really like them. If we hold them together, they do go really well together. And I still haven't found pattern to use all my mini skeins on, which is hilarious, seeing as I have treated myself to a hand dyed mini skein advent calendar this year after my disappointment with the Crochet Society one. And as always, I've got my stitch marker, which I really like too. She does some beautiful ones. This is probably one of the less elaborate ones. I have had some really pretty ones. Oh, and on top of my yarn haul from Wednesday, the Saturday before that, I was chatting to the lady who works at the wool shop that I do knitting lessons for, and I've been looking and staring at a yarn that has been on the shelf for several weeks now, and I finally caved and bought some. So this, look at this. I bought 200 grams, so they're 50-gram balls, and just it's got little sequins in. I haven't got a clue what I'm going to make. I found a nice little bolero style jacket, cardigan that would fit Emily, that would do just the 200 grams. So I might do that for her. But this is the King Cole Galaxy DK. It's actually, I'm told it's a discontinued yarn, but I've just had my eye on it for so long. So it's 65% acrylic, 31% wool and 4% soft paillette, which I'm going to wonder, is that the sequins? Could that be the sequins? I'm not sure. But anyway, I bought 4 50-gram balls and I really, really like it. It's so nice. And Emily loves things that sparkle, so she'll definitely like that. So that's all my yarning coming. Ever since I started trying different fruit teas and herbal teas and things like that, I've been dying to try the loose teas. Now, I'm sensitive to caffeine, so I can't really try the black teas. I do occasionally partake in green tea, usually first thing in the morning at work to wake my brain up a little bit. But on Saturday I popped into Whittard, which is a tea and coffee shop that you buy loose tea, loose coffee, and they do tea bags and things as well, and other things that you can make tea and coffee with. So I bought myself this really precious little tea infuser, and just how cute is that? It's a little teapot, and it comes with its little tray to sit on when you've taken it out of your cup, and it's so cute. I really, really love it. It's so, I'd seen it on the website. The only problem is one of the teas I bought to go in it is actually a little bit too fine, and some of it comes out of the holes, so I end up with bits in my tea still. So I bought myself a couple of flavours of tea. So I bought this Morning Reviver, which is a blend of peach, hibiscus with hints of apple and orange, and it's beautiful. I had a cup of that Sunday morning and it was really, really nice. I could easily have gone and made another cup.
I can imagine it was. They smell delicious.
They do smell really nice, but you haven't been tempted to taste them, have you?
This was good.
It's good.
It was so good.
Yeah. It's really hard to pinpoint the overpowering. There is one particular scent there that takes over the rest, but I don't care. It's really, really nice. I also, on the spur of the moment, because it was reduced, got some Strawberry Serenade, which is also very yummy, but this is the one where some of the pieces are fine enough to come out of the infuser. So this one is a jubilant, juicy infusion, jam-packed with succulent strawberries, ripe rosehip and sweet blackberry leaves. And it's really, really nice. So I don't know whether or not when I get paid to go and see what other infusers they have, to see if they have one that has a finer, one of the mesh ones with a fine mesh rather than the really cute little ones. Which will do fine for this. This has got nice big chunks in. And it's going to last ages. I only need to use a teaspoon of this for a really good strong cup. So, and I signed up to the loyalty type thing where you earn, I think you get points for every thing you purchase, and I got a free sachet of lemon and ginger to try. So I'll be giving that a whirl. Maybe when I've got my mesh infuser, because some of that looks quite small. I haven't opened that to sniff it yet because it is just a sachet. But again, that will probably do a good 4 or 5 cups of tea there. So yes, I have definitely been treating myself quite a lot. Yes, so next episode will be in 2 weeks' time. We are going away in a week and a half, so I'll try and do some filming and put together a little vlog to put out a week or 2 after we get back. And yeah, so that brings us pretty much to the end. I've probably gone over the hour now, having stopped to show you the tea. I could make myself a cup. I could make myself a cup of tea, couldn't I?
Instead of having an alcoholic drink.
I've already had an alcoholic drink today, so I don't know if I should have any more. So yeah, so I shall see you again soon. All of my contact details are below. Please like and subscribe. I'm up to 86 subscribers now, so I'm slowly getting to the 100. It would be really great to see me get to that 100 in time for my podiversary, which is in August. So I'm getting very close to my podiversary. My podiversary.
Fingers crossed we can get to 100 subscribers by then.
Yes. Well, there will be a giveaway. I haven't decided what I'm giving away, but there will be a giveaway. So yeah, so I will see you all again soon, and I hope you have a lovely yarny time. So bye.
Bye.